What's up you guys, Nicola Maserati here. Today I am super excited. I have not seen a video on YouTube like this. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys remember that video that I made on how to get silky smooth slow motion from 30 frames per second. What's up you guys, Nicola Maserati here. Today we're going to be talking about how to get silky smooth slow motion while shooting at 30 frames per second. Well, this video is kind of like that, but I'm super excited. I'm so excited guys. Today we are going to be talking about how to get the look of 120 frames per second from shooting at 60 frames per second. But before we get into it, you guys know, let's just run the intro. Alright guys, so like I said, I'm going to be showing you how to get what looks like 120 frames per second while shooting in 60 frames per second. But first, before we get into it, I do want to thank Movement Watches for sponsoring this channel. This is something that I've been waiting for the longest time, and I'm super excited that I'm able to do it. For those who haven't heard of movementwatches.com, you need to go check them out right now. I'm going to leave a link to them in the description below. If you go to their site and you use Nicola Maserati, all one word, at checkout, you will receive 10% off of your entire order. So go check them out guys, they are awesome. So today we're going to be learning on how to take a video that you shot at 60 frames per second, make it look like it was shot in 120 frames per second. So enough of me babbling on and rambling on and everything like that. Let's just get into Premiere. Alright guys, so we're in Adobe Premiere Pro right now, and as you can see I have my clip in here. Now this clip was filmed at 60 frames per second, and this is what you want. You want to make sure you have a clip that was filmed in 60 frames per second. So once you have that clip imported into Adobe Premiere Pro, here's what you want to do. You want to go to New Item, go to Sequence, and where it says DSLR 1080p by 24, click OK. And so we just created a 24p timeline, and we're going to be using this 60 frames per second clip. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that into my timeline. We'll extend this a little bit. We'll stop it right there. Stop it right there. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Now it's really similar to what I did in that one video where I shot in 30 frames per second and slowed it down to 60. So it's really similar, although there's a few different things that you're going to do. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to right click it. You're going to go to speed and duration just like before. Now in the last video we did 50%. And that slowed it down by 50%. So as you can see, it extends it that much, okay? So now instead of doing 50%, we're going to do 25% and hit OK. Now as you can see, it extends it a lot more. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to right click again, you're going to go to Time Interpolation, go down to Optical Flow. Now nothing has happened yet because we need to render this. So I'm going to go ahead, go to the beginning of my clip, hit I, go to the end of my clip and hit O and hit enter to render. Alright guys, so we are done rendering. One thing I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to get rid of this audio because we don't need that. Okay, so we are done rendering, and now this should give what looks like 120 frames per second. So let's go ahead and hit play and see what we got. Pan in a little bit and I bring it out. That looks really nice and smooth. So that's really it, you guys. It's really simple. Instead of filming at 30 frames per second and then bringing it down by 50 and using that time interpolation, you're gonna film it in 60 frames per second, bring it down to 25, render it, and you'll be good to go. Now one little thing that you got to be careful of is this clip right here is great because it doesn't have a whole lot of movement. His hands are moving a little bit right there, but nothing too crazy. So you want to make sure that you're not using this time interpolation if somebody's moving a lot, like they're waving their hands or they're running super fast or sprinting or something like that. If you do that, the time interpolation in Premiere is going to try to create those frames, and because that's pretty much what it's doing, is it's adding in some extra frames to make it look nice and smooth. But if somebody's waving or something like that, it's gonna look kind of weird. Try not to use this with any clips where there's a whole lot of waving or anything like that. Really simple clips like this, if someone's walking, that's fine, or just something along these lines when you're kind of moving in or moving out.
works perfectly. So that's pretty much it, you guys.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it, and I hope you're super psyched about that as I am, about getting what looks like 120 frames per second, something that a lot of cameras don't do, and being able to do that and get silky smooth slow motion. 120 frames per second, that is so freaking awesome. So guys, like I said, hit the like button below and let me know what you thought of this tutorial. Is this something that you feel like benefited you getting what looks like 120 frames per second? And like I always say, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys in the next video.